forgot your name. Don't let your spirit fade away. Amnesia, you've been through such pain, but you're growing stronger every day. Amnesia, you forgot your name. Don't let your spirit fade away. Amnesia, you've been through such pain, but your little heart is growing stronger every day. Hey, don't fade away. Don't fade away. Don't fade away. Come on. When the world is on your shoulders, stay. Don't fade away.
Good morning. Looks like I caught things right about a song break. Yeah, I could maybe go up a little bit. So, what I want to do is continue bug hunting. And these probably can go over once we get into them. So I did before is I added an extra little layer that tells me if I clicked on another player. At the sort of very, very first click detection level. I guess the other end of that would be, are we sending what message is being sent when we click on a player versus when we click on empty ground? So what did I call that? Let's click on person. It's drawing it. So in our click, we check for pointer hit. We grab that flag. Oh, we've also got cur mouse over person. Well, that includes hit self. You can't pick up yourself. Well, thank you, but you probably should actually do your homework at some point. Alright, so next acid message to send. Okay, so we're obviously in a deadly situation here. Kill later. If they're dying. True for too far away to use on baby. We should execute you, baby. Hit other person. Can click on other for non-kill. Oh, well, that's an interesting little flag. There's a couple of conditions here. Is grit adjacent? This is where I need protocol. Reflector protocol, curse server, lineage server, server protocol. Special case of self applied to a baby to feed baby or add remove clothing. To feed anyone food, but only putting healing wounded players. Any action where held item is used on another player. Should be called you other, but is used for historical reasons. Specific person if more than one is close to the target tile. Well, that's actually an interesting little thing there. But this is in cases where the client thinks. Baby, special cases, take on a baby. Ooh, to pick them up. So you babies with an item. Specific person if more than one close to the target tile. To eat or holding, to add or remove clothing. Use, drop, keep alive. Oh, okay, so there is a keep alive. Keep alive, use baby, self, you baby. Remv? Removing an object from a container. Object contained in a piece of clothing. Used by baby to jump. Forced position player update sent by the server. Revoke normal opposition sensitive moves and actions. Ooh. Thinks they're currently at. Or ignored while a move is in progress. Huh. Say can happen during a move. To allow it. Requests a map if server is... Okay. It's probably for that stuff. Reports that a bug with number provides text about that bug. Well, if I knew bug numbers, then I could maybe set up some sort of manual. Would report situations where I had a bug baby. So it looks like the baby message is what we want. Is there any stuff about that? Dropped the normal drop action. Yeah, so knowing if we're doing baby or you baby might be interesting. Did I bumped caps lock? That would cause me problems. Living life. Try to use on. Well, this is use baby. Only adults can pick up babies. Okay. Trying to pick up baby. Okay, trying to pick up baby. How about that? So we've got trying to pick up baby. We've got our age. Dest ID equals 0. Hit another person. Did not hit an... Ooh. Could you hit a person and an object? And we're not holding anything. This is sort of an in-between level. Right now I want to know, did we get to the point where we tried to pick somebody up? ID, it's not us. And our current state for the baby is not held. Well, if we're drawing them on the ground, they shouldn't be held. Okay, oh, we have to be next to them. Which I guess if there was a position sync, that could also be a fact. And age is less than 5, trying to pick up baby. Move to an empty spot. Or use on baby. Use drop modifier or pickup action. Need to move adjacent first. Okay, so it can include a move in there. So we got all the pathing. Can execute. If trying to pick up baby, the action is baby. If it's use on baby later, it's use baby. If it's other conditions, then it's drop. More conditions for kill. Remove from container. Okay, so once it gets down here, baby is actually the first thing we attempt. Action equals baby. Extra. Other ID. Oh, so that's if there's ambiguous. Action equals baby, send equals true. So that would be down below all this else if stuff. There's still action. If must move. Oh my gosh. Where do we use action? Seems to be not there. Oh. Try to pick up baby. Trying to pick up baby. Trying to pick up baby. Action equals. Auto sprintf. And send was true. Send is not true. Okay, that's all of send. Action. Yeah, that's it. It's the only place it's used. So the action is attempt to pick up a baby at our click destination X and Y. And there's more than one, we can do a distinguish. Next, oh, this is next action message to send. Oh. Where do you actually get sent? We have a thing that clears it. A lot of things that clear it. Equals null, equals null, equals null, not equal to null. Our live object not equal to null. Current speed equals 0. Is grid adjacent. Player action target. Not player action pending. Okay, there's not equal to null. Do we actually send to server socket? Message map. Jump. message. What is this? This is pathing stuff. Yeah, must move. So that gets sent. Emote gets sent directly. Die gets sent directly. Ping gets sent directly. Oh yeah, that was a new thing. Say gets sent directly. Bug, ping. Keep alive. Out message. There's the login. Immediately sent ask message. Next action method to send. So baby goes through next action method to send. And that is a string. Well, I can try printing that out to see how long it lives. We do the age checks here, so I may have to go try and reconfigure my server. Because I don't even know if it'll send the message if I had another Eve in there. But, where did I have, it was like last click on person. Draw message. And those negatives put us in the upper corner for some reason. Oh no, oh, because I was doing minus minus. Okay. Go right, right. Well, that might actually be a little easier to track that way. And that corner is sort of fine. But that's our positive direction. What if we did... Well, that will move it up, won't it? I don't know how big our text is. Is it pending? It seems like it was a larger one than that. Trying to pick up baby. Action baby. That's extra. Next action message to send. Next action message to send. So we probably should actually make sure we're not drawing a null here. So make and copy onelife.exe to build Windows OneLife. Oh, I'm in build from doing the distribution. Alright, launch this once, and then I should be able to pin it for easier access. Oh, and we got one of our new models. Alright, and it appears that that is sent and... Oh. Okay. So it does momentarily blink, but that's actually sort of useful, because if it's another person, if I'm trying to pick up a baby, I'll see whether there's a baby there or not. And then it won't be there most of the time. I mean, it might still be nice to have, like, a last message. And we can't do baby messages without switching it to actually have babies. So auto login will fail. Up this way, I think? Yeah. So I got the hit, and there's apparently no message by normal. Oop. Huh. I guess it's because it's not a usable object on another person. Let's see, I'd have to dig that up. Yep. You baby. Well, if I want to do some testing on this, having babies might be useful. Although both of these clients are now logged in, so... I mean, I might be able to go get killed. Well, no, I'm going to have to restart the server anyway, so that'll be implicit death. Let me see if I can change that real quick. Config settings. Hi Stormy. Yeah, I just wanted to do something on the other computer. It looks like force Eve location also forces you to actually be in Eve. I guess forcing location isn't going to matter too much here. Oh, there was a new setting for force Eve. Is that defaulting to... Okay, bye. Is there... I think he did add a setting for Force Eve. No, that's one life. Still build. And I wonder if that's defaulting to Force Eve. Force Eve location, Force Eve object. Hey, WTF. Force all players Eve. Yeah, that defaults to 0. Notifications. Oh, the sound? The sound is from Chatty. I have YouTube chat notification, but it has not been well, I get so few YouTube chats that it's hard to even tell, but I do need to get around to getting a new... Oh, the pop... Oh, that's chatty as well. And the YouTube chat notification is supposed to do that with browser notifications, but I'm not really sure it works well. I think it might be trying to filter out stuff based on if you're focused somewhere else. But I also don't get a lot of YouTube chat to actually test it. Yeah, so I don't know if that's something I'm going to have to rebuild. Yeah, that's kind of been my impression. If you want an overlay, just get Restream chat, and there's probably others. Because they'll connect to anything, pretty much. And you can configure how long the boxes stay up and stuff. Or do you mean an overlay on your screen? Because I think I do have trouble, yeah, on Chatty, if I'm in like game full screen mode, it doesn't show up. So like, when R1 Life, for instance, has full screen borderless window, in borderless mode, I will actually see those. In full screen, I will not. I think I've been seeing some stuff about Discord as an overlay, and there's probably Discord bots that could mirror chats back and forth. But that is something I have not gone looking for myself. Yeah, I mean, you can borderless window Restream and such. But that probably, typically you'll focus on the game, and then that will relayer the windows, and that doesn't work so well. OBS might have an option to make like all windows. Yeah, OBS has an always on top option, which might work. I don't know how they interact with Windows, but even then, full screen might still take over. But yeah, if you got into borderless windows, you might be able to use something like that. Although those are like never fully transparent, so then you're actually losing some screen space. All right, so Force All Players Eve is defaulting to off. So I guess that Force Eve location is also, well, you know what? I think there's something like the first 3 players become Eves. So maybe if we just ran off and died a few times? No, well, the server's going to start up again, so that's not going to count. Oh yeah, I've never messed with that one, but yeah, there's a couple of those systems out there. All right, so I don't know this map very well. And that's a turkey. I've got hunger way down. Yep, that's where you get snowballs. Of course now... Oh, hi. Let's try another object to see if we can... Bare hand. Snowball, medium snowball, big snowball. Clay bowl. Fraction... Oh, I wonder if that's for the candles. Because that's a new one. Anyway, I'm still not going down very fast here. I think this actually... Oh, well, there's a boar. This actually used to be desert over here before the jungle. But... Man. Alright, I mean, we need to cycle... Well, we just need to cycle players in general, so... Oop. Oh, I can't actually launch 2 instances from here. From a little shortcut. And it's going to say you're already connected. Yep. Interesting. So yeah, it works for me, but I've only attempted to load it on my own channel. So well, I've also, I guess I've only really used it in Chrome when I was already logged in. I should probably try it logged out sometime to see if that whole workflow works. Browser and stuff may be useful as well for tracking that down. So I know there was that. I guess I got to see if there's anything else around. Okay, yeah, no, actually, I remember that there was some planes over there before. Man, there's another hog. A couple hogs. Man, all the times hogs kill me, and now they don't. Okay. Yep, another new model. I guess there was more than one. Yep. Oh, yep, right down here. Well, that was a used transition. Okay, and which apparently blocked the sound effect. Alright, so this one died. Of course, now I'm a baby to the person who's dead. Who can't use anything because she's injured anyway. So well, the next one will just Eve spawn up here. Somewhere. Alright, so... Baby. So I want to move the position a little bit. Oh, I am getting looks like the distinguish counter. Oh, it's just showing up as a -1. Okay. Okay, well. I don't really have... Oh. I'm starving myself. Which is weird, because you wouldn't think the baby would be losing food, like, at all. That's interesting. So every attempt, actually... Huh. Yep, every pickup costs you one, whether it needs it or not. Which we can actually... Yep. Even if they don't need to eat. That's... almost seems like a bug. I guess it's ticked down a little bit. Anyway, I want to move that a little bit. I could maybe make that like last message. and actually record a separate buffer for it, so it's a little easier to see. But if I've got a situation where I can just sit here and it's like, I can't pick you up, we should see what it's trying to do, and that's actually kind of appropriate. So let's just try and get our position worked out. So 10 wasn't nearly enough. And it looks like this might be the centered position of the text. So I guess what I could try it in a different browser. Let's Window, YouTube chat notification. Log in. Okay. I've already logged into Google here, so sign in. Use that YouTube account. I guess I don't have a log out button. But yeah, so yeah, what browser are you using? All that stuff. And then there's the fact that like I got an API key, so I guess it could be tied to my account. Yeah, because it goes to the person who logged in. Oh. I'm not sure I've tried logging in when I'm offline. Because it's going to go out and say, okay, give me the live streams, and then join the chat for that live stream. So you might have to actually have a live broadcast. You could do a private one to test it. No one else would notice that. Yep, I hate it when Windows moves it on me. All right. Oh, I'm not a baby anymore. So I guess that player is going to need to die. Well, I mean, we can still test. And hit. You can't do a use. I've just been sitting here starving. Which, I mean, is sort of just as well if we want to reset. That's sort of okay. Alright, so let's, for the sake of cleanliness, STG refresh the debugging patch. And it's just debugging info. Maybe I should have broken out by which thing I'm debugging. But that gives us an opportunity to test that when we run into it. So the other bug we wanted to look into, and I have to find all this code again. There should be a draw map cell, draw live object, draw. So somewhere down here, we go through like every row of the grid essentially. Oh, this is... I would have pulled out functions for these sort of status pages, but that's just me. Probably time in Ruby encouraged the lots of small method style. And I haven't exactly published a lot of games, so there's the whole actual doing thing. Okay. Okay, so negative is down. So for row loop, Draw floors. Marked objects. Special mode for teaser video. Oh, nope. So it's floors, but we're still on this pass. So actually, the floors goes more down to here, I think. Pull mode, floor hugging pass. Overlay. Oh no, that does get wrapped up, didn't it? So where's our Y loop? This is the -1 to 1. -1 to 1. Highlights. I'm in the wrong section of code. Speech on... I feel like it was a much larger section I had found before. Overlay even. For main floor. Draw... Oh, so biome is up here then. Which is not using X and Y? Well, I guess it doesn't matter as much. Because that's always going to be... Oh, it's... The floor has different boundaries. Okay. Oh, and wait, did I... Oh, I grabbed floor, not... No, I start. That should cover objects, including players. So floor objects. So X start, Y start. This maybe this is the main layer. Hugging floor. Object ID. Object ID. Overlay. Maybe there's another draw layer for players? Cur mouse over cell. Oh, this is for floor cells that are moused over, probably. Draw sprite. Our live object. Okay, path for our character. So it is, yeah, it is farther down. Skip these that are off screen. Game objects. Object current pies, object destination. Game objects on screen false. Double drawing, cell goes moving to non-moving. Oh, nope. Maybe I didn't go far enough. Okay, so here's another loop. Marked objects. Special mode. No, and we're back here. This is the main loop. Any sprites behind player? Oh, there is a debugging grid. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, is that an actual error or just sort of be careful? That is an actual error. I guess he copied the code from here. Get draw color. So this is the debugging grid. Yeah. Uh, hmm. All right, debugging grid. S cell pause, debug pause. Wait. I thought that was only in the selected range. No, okay, I guess maybe I didn't save. Unused variable. What? Oh, huh? I guess I lost this undoing some stuff. And then it was declared. Wait, what? Debugging grid. So why is this not debugging grid? Oh. It's two different? That's actually not necessary. Is this like two different debugging grids? Okay. So we can try breaking that code out to see if that is what it is. So the thing we want, well, I mean, this is definitely interesting. So now I want to see if that is in fact two sections of code. I guess we're only launching one right now. That might be easier to get to. Huh. Oh, that is a different visualization. What? I must have gotten some partial code here, because that seems kind of broken. But that's doing coordinates and some funky draw effects. Oh, so actually, so this was apparently, so this is setting the draw color there. This is drawing a square and drawing the coordinates. Yeah, string, string, string. So is this just the coordinate draw? And then there was something definitely that assumed this part, I think. Function definition. What? What? Alright, we got some random character somewhere. And I think we redid some... Well, no, because we changed the names. Oh. This... I'm used to a different brace style. So this apparently has to match up with the end of this stuff. There was a warning about it. And that section does nothing by itself. Okay. Oh, it sets the draw. Yeah, okay, it just sets the draw colors. So that was assuming that the draw color was set. Yeah, I have no idea why that was there. But it's a bigger change to the file to have it there. So I think what we want to do is we want to take that. And, well, we want to make that conditional and make our current... and make some information about our character's current location. Well, about all characters' current location, because it's usually I see it on somebody else. I don't remember. Yeah, I think I've seen both. So that's a neat little effect. So, step one, let's go ahead and get this. Try and figure out how we can make this a conditional thing. Because unlike this little bit of stuff that's mostly out of the way, this is extremely obtrusive to be playing with. Or obtrusive. Last click on person. Showing debug grid. So we'll end up with something like this, but okay, so what are you? Ah. This is path, but it's oh, there was a turkey over here somewhere, wasn't there? Yeah, this is still a very debugging version of the path. Wait, what's W? So I guess this must only be, it would show it for all players, not for moving tiles. Okay. Huh. You know, I could dig into the code, figure out what that is, but that's not especially useful to me right now. Debugging grid. Debugging home location. Debugging click counts. Num-click records. He must have been playing around with double clicks in an earlier version. Last chunk center. Another debug overlay? I probably need to get the first overlay toggled before I play around with the rest of these. Debugging grid. It's going to re-indent the entire thing. If showing debug grid and that's going to default to false. So now the tricky part. Well, okay, so now it should be off. So what other debug things are available to us? That's drawing something. Oh, this is just an alignment grid. Okay. Debug. Okay, so that's that. Now, where the heck do we deal with keyboard keys? Does the game have any... Well, we have to deal with... Nope. Oh, right. New ID curse flag format, num lines. Start a typing filter, filter command. Say set text. Ah, okay, case. Oh, no, right. C uses single characters. Oh. There's... Oh. Age plus 10, minus 10. Well, this could be handy for baby stuff. Get our live object display ID. Get... Oh! Change character. So those are all obvious what those do. Black border, white border. So we've already got some potential debugging keys taken up here. Okay, I thought I had switched this off, but apparently not. Okay, so B doesn't do anything. Okay, so maybe those flags are no longer implemented. Debug. Debug overlay. Debugging grid. Debugging home location. Was there another debug overlay that I accidentally hit? Oh, that's the paths. Okay. So B, so that if white border, black border. What is this? Oh, so this is for trailer type stuff. Draw add, draw molt, molt amount. This is probably graphics debugging. Oh, and he's reusing characters between different debugging groups. All right, so A. Oh. Interesting. Molt. So I guess that's the standard mode. What is O? They're independently toggleable. Huh. Yeah, it just makes for different color variations. Ooh, that's like grainier. Huh. It appears to be, yeah, principally the background. And then you can crank up some of the factors. So I guess that's how we tuned the overall color of things. Okay, well, that's cute, but not useful for our purposes. Path step dist factor. This is probably what it takes to make a path. Right, okay, so that is... Oh yeah, it was Shift Tab that he needed something else for. Move camera false. That's tab, huh? Right, that's the actual character code. Start typing a filter, enter. All the code's right here. And that's it. So we want something akin to our debugging stuff. Save speech, user twin code. This is to cancel when you're in twin mode. So somewhere. Showing debug grid equals not. I guess I could have put in a. text code as Jason has been doing for the pings and for the FPS counter. Okay, so we can get that. Now, I'm actually not sure this is directly useful, because what I really want to know is the integer and floating point coordinates of the characters. But that gives us something to go off of. So now I need to know where we're drawing characters. Well, it's going to be in the same-ish area. Debugging grid, all that stuff. And let's, yeah, a bunch of trailer white space. Let's kind of checkpoint that. So this is, okay, queue of players. So this is sorting them right now, I think. Although this is where it's kind of checking for that. So this is kind of our key thing about allocating players to grid locations. Also, that's current speed not equal to 0. Oh. Okay. So we need to know their destination, rounded current position, and current speed. Moving objects that fall into this row. Extra moving objects that fall into this row, but so my running theory on the draw ordering issue is that the player is being allocated to the wrong row. And there is a little minus there. Add the depth. No, move the queue in the order of drawing. Okay. So draw live. If a person, draw it. If they're holding something, not drawn. Held position override. Extra moving object. So we have draw records. If draw rec.person, and we're mainly concerned about people here. So 5604. And you know what? There is an anchor feature I never remember to learn how to use. I guess it's could have been VI. Oh. Yeah, I think we're getting some. Is anchor the right word? Mark file locations. Oh, now we're no. Maybe this is actually a VI things using marks. Okay. By A. File bookmark. Okay. Setting marks. Set mark A. jump to, well, the line is usually all I'm interested in. That's usually a little bit easier to access. And then you can do all of your, well, 2-line, 2-character. List all current marks. Yeah, next and previous mark. Last change. Last exited. To line and current buffer were jumped from. Previously changed or yanked text. Visual selection. Okay, well, this will cover most of us here. So we want to know where this stuff is happening. So we do mark A. Then we want to go back to our debugging grid, because this gives us some code that does what's color? Oh, so he's doing some adjustment of the color, which is probably fine. Oh, you know what? This also puts it in a its own container. It was debug pause. So we should be fine there. Don't actually have to make that change, although we did end up doing indent change. So alpha is probably good. Main font draw string. Oh, so this actually, I was using a different draw method before. So oof, that code though. And then we go back to A. So held pack, draw live object. Holding something not drawn yet. Held position override. Extra moving object. Ah, okay. So this is the actual draw. I kind of want to be on top of all the person stuff. No, because this is how he lines it up. So, no. So that is the end of this, but all of this stuff is indented to here. So where are... Is that... No, yeah, it's all indented here. If showing debug grid... So we want, like, several things. I guess we can reuse the strings a few times. Well, no, because they're auto sprintf. We can reuse the color a couple times. Okay, so we want object. Well, let's start with one coordinate. Oh, and this is all set up for, we're going to have to figure this out relative to the person. It was dx and dy? as the easy ones. Okay. Has no member named dx. Member named dy. So it was just above here where we were checking those things to create the queue. Oh, XD. Jump back down to here. So grab this for reference. So destination X and Y is like one of our primary. You're right, it's not. Draw pause is going to be. That was a sort of cell position. Which isn't entirely right. We might end up with this stuff later. The non-scalar type double pair requested. If 5874. Oh, it's a double pair. Right. Okay. Cell pause. So that was the screen position. What about current? No, it's here. Current pause X. So actually, this should just be current pause, right? As our baseline. And then it's moving some stuff that we'll have to see how it looks. Oh, I left this code in here. Which doesn't seem to have actually been fatal. And I guess we could just kind of go with the resolved coordinate here, because that's all we care about, is where does it think we are? All right, we seem to have died. Okay, is this only for other people? Because we don't seem to be drawing anything. Or we're drawing it at some weird position. Or our draw color is messed up. Because of what this happens to be. I could also go back to the debug text I'm using elsewhere, since we're not trying to make a nice looking background at all. But I might just be really messing up my... No. Could this be overlapping the existing stuff because we're drawing in exactly the same position? Otherwise, I think it would appear on top of the person. Okay. Oh, the get draw color because we were setting our color there. Right. I had my debugging stuff before that was using a different draw method. So right, because he was drawing the square colors and he wanted to draw in the opposite color of that so it showed up. So the only use of this is getting a... What am I drawing? Last click on person, if true. So that's just set draw color, which is fine for this purpose. And I mean, maybe something like this would be good. But current pause, not what we need. Well, we can try that version of color. Nope. And this is if showing debug grid. Oh, I got inside this conditional, didn't I? No. All right, so are we getting here? Yep, we're getting there. I must be putting this in the wrong position. I guess I should have copied that, huh? Last screen view center. Last screen view center. The weird thing is that this was drawing just fine. Well, that was calculating straight up cell locations? Okay. So we've at least got something. And this is just, this isn't going to work for all characters. We've at least proven that we're drawing something. So, and we know what we're drawing there. So this was when he was drawing ground layers. Oh, so he is taking screen X, screen Y. World X, World Y, which are part of this loop. And maybe screen X, screen Y are even calculated as it's doing this. How do we know where a character is? Draw a live object. Oh, current pause is cell dimensions. Okay, so that is in grid coordinates. In obj, so this is just current pause. Okay. Right, it's in grid with the floating point. So that's our destination location. Can I do that? I won't be able to do that. And then this was for positioning in a cell. Oh, the other thing I need to check. Oh. Okay. So maybe I do need to consider a different way of activating that. So this is actually very hard to read on top of the grid. I could probably fix that by just putting things in different... Well, I've got a lot of numbers to put down. So I might actually not want to do this. Or provide a background or align it differently. Okay, so what we're more interested in So we've got that. Because we've got a bunch of numbers to do. So we might want to do something more like just and that might be between things. And then hit. So then we can take this. Oh, and we need to clean this up. Why? Redeclaration of double pause. Double pair. Right, I was completely reinitializing the position. So we can set this up. Actually, we can do this. And then we advance. We don't reset that. We advance. That's still not advancing. Did I save? Well, I either didn't save or didn't compile. Well, no, it might have touched the file. Why are they overlapped? Oh, wait. We lost something here. It's supposed to be like the X and the Y originally. Wait. I got this from debugging grid. Oh, because it was originally XY, XY, XX, and YY. Wait. Oh, but one's plus and one's minus. From the center. Okay. So we need y should be fine. Okay, when I had left that entire cell. What is interesting is that people are one cell high, essentially. They're just standing in the center. So, which has relevance to, I kind of don't like the head blocking thing. I'm wondering what to do about that. So we would want to take this back to, and I guess I should work that out before copying this many times. All right, so we've got destination X and Y. We want to compare those to, I guess I should work out one of these. To effectively OX. Rent O current pos dot X. And this is only 0.2. Is that the right offset? I mean, I think I've usually clicked around enough that it wouldn't be an issue. No, this is for the layering bug, though. X was not declared. Oop. I messed something up here. I must have edited the wrong. Right. Yep, I did. Oh no, I'll do one first, and then I went ahead and edited another. So YD, YD. All right, so, and I could move it back left, right, but that would also make it harder to read. So they're in perfect agreement here. And it's the question of, are they not in agreement when we're getting drawing bugs? And then in order to try and understand what that's doing, now I have to figure out current X, current Y. This was a double. Sprintf double. Same as F. Correct format. Before that, O. Okay. So we've got an opinion first for F. And that is actually something we're not sure if it's going to work. All right, so yeah. And some stuff. Although you know, I'm mostly only interested in the y coordinates, because that affects drawing layer, and that would remove some noise here. And then U would become CY. All right, yeah, there's some interaction with the neighboring text, but so while everything's behaving, we are hitting perfect numbers. But if things aren't behaving, then something funny has to have gone on. Oh, current speed, because that affected which of these it was using. Yeah, current speed. And it looks like speed, oh, interesting. Speed is sometimes different. Hmm. I wonder if it depends on current frame rate or something. Hmm. Well, the text is a little hard to read, but it ought to be serviceable in a pinch. Now I just need to redo activation so that I don't have problems with letter codes. We will checkpoint that though. And I'm going to take a short break. It's been a little while. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Nope. Now, there was something about these deploying at inappropriate times. What was it? Was it? No, I guess it's only on the ground. Oh.
Oh god. At least we can keep this and this powered overnight now.
We have a power shortage.
Well, you know, I wish we could. Hey Nia, how's it going? Okay, perfect. No, baby! God damn it. I just can't keep a female character alive. What do I do?
No, I didn't know it was that low. No. Oh. I could have sworn I should have had a few more seconds. That I want a ref to review the video. And a wheel. Looking up, Julia. Looking up, Julia. There's been a murder. Who done it? Oh my god. She didn't even wait for her answer. It was me.
And welcome back. All right, so okay. So I had put this on a key, but that doesn't work when you're typing text. So translate. So there's a hook for translations, huh? And he's still putting these hooks in there. I guess he just only does English translation files. But is that gonna be a file? That seems like everything. Language. Languages, okay. Which would mean I would have to ship multiple files. Well, and this appears to be a file that gets updated by his update process. Well, this is just for debugging, so. Should be fine. So we have here, this is for typed stuff, which is down in say, which is actually not too far away. So we get down, we've got tab, we've got slash, we've got enter. Oh, Or I could choose something like, well, a function key or something. I just have to know the key code for that. In ASCII. Register trigger key command. Key down. How do I figure those out? I mean, are those things? Key code in hex. I need to write a program. Oh, right, yeah. I could have just looked that up. In there. But that's key codes. He's saying this is ASCII. So are you doing like a completely, are you like into minor gems to do that? Okay, so yeah, key down is somewhere outside of this file. Or is ASCII the key code? Oh, okay. Oh, special key down. Okay. So he just has some separate pieces of code for that. So it's not going to be in there. If, else. Oh, this does the arrow keys to cycle stuff. We don't strictly need an else here. We can just do an if that's. No. Oh, that's right, it does this. Ah. Oh, MG for minor gems. Okay. Yeah, I just didn't realize there's a separate function for. I don't know if any of these are. Since I'm not doing emotes, I can. Well, but you are doing emotes. Well, not that I even tend to publish this code. Oh. Not that would have been hard to retype. Oh, no, that was you. I need to get my own. Okay. So we can toggle that off. It's a little hard to read. But... And one of the annoying things is that, like, if it's somebody else where I see it, I probably not even be able to turn this on in time, but you gotta be able to catch it somewhere. So that is cell 18. This is all resolving to 18. Currently, well, negative 18. But sometimes we get the object drawn on top. We don't know why. So we want to see if there's like some decimal drift or something that's able to draw the character here but still have them layered there. Maybe an unresolved destination? I don't know. I don't know. But we have something where we can attempt to debug that. So remove from there, we're strictly adding... I guess we're adding space all over the place, but that's fine. I mean, it's still a client. It's getting the servers the coordinates are sending it. So there may be of limited use there, but those are the coordinates the client is using, and the client is drawing a person in the wrong position or in the wrong layer. So I want to see what it thinks about the rounded and fractional positions of things, so that if I get a circumstance where somebody has a crop row over their head. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, since this is Force Eve location, it probably is server coordinates by coincidence. But yeah, it's just standard client behavior on that front. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out if there's like a decimal error here or in speed. Well, it's supposed to be looking at the wrong one, and they're currently the same. So I just have to try and catch it in the act, and if that's not it, then I have to start reading over the draw layering code again to see why something could be drawn on top of a person. And the only thing I've been able to think of is that there was something in that, well, I need like an object. Let me see if I can find a sharp stone. It's experiencing a transition of some sort by a player, possibly another player. And you know what? This is actually not helping for finding objects. Man, this place is short on... I don't know if it's the windowed mode or not, but I feel like there's like a stutter. So, like, well, that's a little bit blocked out. But like if this, nope, that's still behind, even though it experienced a transition But I don't know, like, which direction we have to be. Maybe it's somebody else is touching a thing while the person is still standing there, and then that... Yeah. And I mean, like, this is a pretty... Well, it's not covering anymore. This is technically a transition, but this is be drawn on top there, so... Yeah, and then we also got the momentary recent command, but if I'm just sitting there trying to grab a baby, I should be able to see if I'm getting a baby message out. And if I am, then it's just down to server sync. Alright, did we... Yeah, so you're at that. So what I could maybe play with, since we've got a little bit of time here. Well, those are the only, like, bugs I've been noticing. But one of the things that's been bugging me for a while, well, there's a couple of things that have been bugging me for a while. I mean, the head blocking is a big one. The inability of transition steps to go through time transitions makes finding anything that involving hot metal often difficult and such. Oh, that's not a debugging thing. That does deal with some character positioning. Let's look on person. Check for pointer hit, which has to consider a hit on person. Was it not hit person? All short objects. I think those are big tiles. Hit our placement. Held by someone else. Well, it must have been copied from draw code. Person clicked offset. I think that's what offset within the person. Hit self. Oh, hit other person. No, I looked at them and it looked like it was like some sort of binary encoded stuff. I mean, I was kind of hoping it would essentially be network messages, but it was not intelligible. So it might just be compressed. We might even hit, I'm in game source. Recorded game, oh. Yeah, so settings, and then, well, yeah, I mean, I've been starting and stopping the client a lot, so I don't quite know what the conditions for making a recorded game are. Maybe because I hadn't died with the client up. Well, but I did die earlier, so I don't know. Clothing contained. Ah. Well, I mean, if you had a recorded life for it, maybe you could. But, like, I know when I looked, it's like, I played a bunch of games during the day, and I looked, and there was, like, 1 or 2 files that had any significant data. And maybe it's, like, all client session that contained a life, and it wrote out multiple lives. But I had the impression it was supposed to be 1 per life, so you could play back that life. Closest object part 2. Oh, mouse movements. Okay. Well, yeah, I guess that could be good for the baby stuff. But I didn't even have any situations last week. So if I run into those, I can. I think I was looking for one of those types of bugs a little while ago. And I was like, oh, well, I wonder if I got a recorded game of it. And it made no useful sense to me. Get closest object part to person click offset. Round OX. Let's get to the cell. Okay, then the fractional difference. So a person click has to, well, this might be in a loop that considers multiple, well, there's destination position, current speed, and path to dest not equal null. So if we're considering hit a person, no, then we consider the current position versus their destination position. So that's the offset. But okay, so what we're interested in is the person is considered to be in this cell by that logic. We get a distance. Oh, that's cell-based logic. This is their head. Are we considering offsets? Recently dropped babies. So I think these are recently dropped baby, not a recently dropped baby. 0 to 0 less than 2, so it is really just baby, but not baby. Is anything in here game objects? Click dest, click dest. So we're considering x plus and minus 1. But what about the fact that a person click blocks you? That's with their head, which is not where they're standing. Rounded. No. Mindis.hits. Drawn behind objects. Is that the only hit other person? Equals false, equals false, equals false. That's a reset. Equals false. Oh, there are two trues. What is this? If hit an object, not hit other person, and not hit self. What if someone is standing behind and hit an object? Oh. There's code specifically to be able to hit a person behind an object? Well, it's looking cells up. It would have to look cells down? One cell left or right? So for that purpose, I want to know closest cell Y. That's looking X. Is that using X and Y? Game objects. Hmm. Oh, this is using different path logic. Nor clicks on self behind tree. Different baby detection. So I guess what I want to know is which of these is activating. In the case we're trying to click on a thing behind somebody's head. So this is the first one. And we'll do the, since I don't want to try and figure out how to get this debugging out, we're just going to brute force this. All right, we got person one. It's not going to like the same email address. We go over to person two. All right, so I actually need to get in an appropriate position. Let's see. I mean, this will work. If I click in the right spot. Oh, so it's even doing the hit detection there. So I probably passed over the person before the object. Wait. Oh no, that's me now. Can I? Oh, right, because that's all right. Let's I guess I'm gonna have to figure out how to radiator this. Because we're using our hit test elsewhere. Last click on person. Oh, I didn't notice where that was. Check. Ah. Hit other person. Oh, that works. Last. Check on person equals P. Hit other person. And then I need to go down to where I'm putting last hit, last click on person. Well, I guess really the other one should be near this. Last check on person. Oh, I need more than this. I need to know. Hmm. I guess we should just do. And I don't know if I'm going to get all of the resets on this. And we can just do this as... Oh, I could cheat doing a sprintf here. Person check equals 1. Person check equals 2. And then we have to get... So we always reset this. Pointer hit record. Person hit equals 0. Yeah, this kind of stuff. Dry message is a little bit different, apparently. Person check. Oops. No, it went back to... Oh, because it's just dry message. Person hit. All right, I might still have 2 people in game that I can use for testing this. Oh, well, you're holding it now, but okay. So normally the one check is doing it. Oh, it's the tree that's making that pop up. So I don't have specific information about if that's different during a click, but that is check 1, which is confusing me because that appears to require an exact cell equal. Person check, person check. Hit other person. That seems to be the only places it's set to true. Is it possible that we're doing... Well, no, because we're calling check pointer hit. Maybe... We're calling check pointer hit again on a different cell? No, it's not. What the heck is it? Check 4 pointer hit. In X, in Y. Pointer move. Pointer down. And that's it. So there's only one pointer to, well, so the hover is detecting it. So there has to be something else going on here. What the? Oh, wait a minute. Do we do closest object part, but for a person check equals 1, which is what we seem to be hitting, we only do this if it's the same cell. Okay, OX and OY are... Oh, you're being rounded, not... Well, we know exactly what those coordinates are. Well, we know they're exactly equal to cell coordinates. So destination XY. There's X and Y. I'll click dest X. Wait a minute, we're checking Y. What's Y? Is there another loop around this? Because we're doing X over some range of stuff. Oh. 3 around cell because of moving objects. Are we inside that loop? In front of people. Map contained. This is kind of the same problem I had with trees. We're looking around for things. Although I imagine that would make it harder to catch murderers and such as well. Because you'd have to hit exactly where it thought they were. But this is probably what gonna work for tiles, for all kinds of things that you probably want. So the simplest change to test this and less than or equal to straight branch, no relation. So a large part of a person's body is actually, this is like the area you'd be clicking, which makes me want to offset people a little bit. But I need to figure out how the drawing offsets work in that case. So the thing is, it's not even that I want to turn it off completely. Although that's kind of what I did for trees, but they're not moving around. I just like something. Oh. That completely turned off the hover detection as well. So what we really want to do is just change the priority. Well, I mean, there could be cases where you want to hit the thing behind, but... So that if we hit it something in the same cell, don't look around. Oh yeah, because you can't even click on your own mouth because you're not in that cell. So that seems to be not quite the right answer. What was the actual change? No. I guess I could have just... Yeah. I could actually do a edit, patches, click through trees. Short objects. So that was a height test. We removed a hit true if we got it up there. And we added a height specific check for when the object was in the same... Oh, this is for gooseberry. This is the gooseberry bush patch because they overlap a little bit. So originally like 6? It's hard to say. There is a min disc that hits. There is the else case there. So going through here, we've got all those objects. This may have been where I removed that hit. So this is game objects. We're going through dist, min dist that hits. We've got a hit. And oh, you can do, well, you sometimes block you head block yourself. So I'm not sure if I want to special case that. Although it does simplify eating. I kind of want something like the trees where we can still like hover and find things behind. Alright, well, we don't need person check. We've kind of got that sorted out. More like an STG reset? Because a get reset... Well, no, because that is what the get thinks it is right now. That's what it thinks the diffs are, so that's fine. So I guess what I want to know is, have we already checked an object? So these are the only person checks we do. So they're only done in this broad loop. Whereas with the object, you could still detect the object on the tile you clicked on quite easily. And we're scanning through all of this stuff. Well, are we scanning from top to bottom or bottom to top? We're scanning top to bottom, then we would be able to hit that thing before we got to the person. Alright, is my friend still down here, or do we have to connect again? Nope, she's dead. I guess I could have gone on to fed her, but eh. Oh, look, it's an actual baby. Babies aren't as big. Straight branch your son. That's because we're getting near a tree. Where else would you test that? Because now we need something like this. Well, I mean that is the cell boundary there. Are there bigger objects? You her son. Okay, so checking for a hit doesn't do it. It might also be going up. Let's, where's that Y loop? There's the X loop. Check things that are in front first. Alternately, well, it's like I don't want to necessarily say anytime it's a person. It's just if we are closest cell XY. So actually, we have to be doing this at the item detection. Don't worry about checking next people in this row. So this has to consider, here's Y, all non-drawn behind map objects in this row. Right, because we're going front to back. Then people. I don't know which ones are considered drawn behind. Most objects appear in front of a person who's in the same cell. Non-drawn behind. Oh, we don't even check this if we've hit something already. Okay. So how does that work? I'm gonna have to review how this works for trees. Yeah. Because we actually turned off that. Check this cell first. Hit our placement. Hit an object. But it's not considered hit our placement behind. Don't click through short behind object. And we've already determined hit our placement. So I already had a test going here, but I think this might be, we want to work off of hitting a direct object. Alright, did we... Alright, looks like the food's still going fast enough, down fast enough for a baby to die. Unless I moved off somewhere when exiting. Oh, no, actually, yeah, this is the... Okay, so both those people are dead. Or they're... No, no reason not to do things here. Oh, no, actually, we did travel down. Oh, okay, yes, the baby's gone. So actually, yeah, I do... No, I can put an object there. That's what the sticks are for. No relation. Okay, so not removing that doesn't help. Where was you? Do I have any changes right now? I do not. STG... Is STG new? STG new... STD new... Message... Alright, so if that's what this does... Alright, so we've got our loop, we've got our people check. When checking next, people don't worry about when checking them. Why not? I mean, I could almost say if we've hit our placement, do we even care? Well, no, I know I had problems with that. Disable the 3x3 loop. Cannot interact with trees at all. Cannot feed self. Cannot see through... Not feeds, because that's the only place we check people. Cannot see through to objects behind trees. Disable selection of objects. Cannot interact with trees at all. Cannot see through to objects. That's just selection of objects. Disable resetting hit location. That might be what I did. Short check and allow selecting trees at... Disable short check in same cell. So we don't want to... Well, that was disabling it at all. Min distance that hits. But if you're like trying to remove clothes, on a tile that has other stuff on it, we can't just disable that. Let's see, so I mean, we could just skip people entirely if that's what we're going to do. Oh, my friend died. Although this should apply equally well to me. But you. Okay. But if I was standing down here, I would not be able to feed myself. But I can easily get the stuff behind my head. Hmm. Hmm. I wonder. Should move camera. Check for pointer hit. Hit our placement. If we have not hit our placement, if should move camera or again, that's we should kind of be saying or it's screen locked and we've hit our placement. Wrong and. Because that will allow you to, like, work in smiths and things without people in the way. But most of the time, you wouldn't have that on. So if I was screen locked and doing stuff, I could run around, I could pick up the thing behind me. I mean, that's an easy one, but like, there's a gooseberry back there. This is where I want, let's see, how do I do the show behind? That gets a little bit fancier though. I think that only happens on objects, non-drawn behind objects. So there is already a hit there. I thought I had removed a hit somewhere. Hit our oh, it changes the hit our placement behind. I already hit a short object and this object is tall. So people. Hit self. Clothing slots. Hit our placement. Oh, he was being lazy with his braces here. So we'd have to do, we want to do this before that. Why was, wait. Why is right here? What the heck? I have to have typoed someplace somewhere else. What? 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 Can I get better error messages from the compiler? What? Or did I maybe stick this back in the wrong section by jumping around by accident? Alright, just... Okay. Maybe we accidentally over moved and like copied or pasted like way too much stuff. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was just way too many error messages for the change I'd made. I mean, unless there were some loose braces that just threw everything off. What the heck? Oh, this does have braces. Okay. His brace style still throws me off. Especially when you got nested ifs like this, and I read that one up with this. Okay, that is not doing the little glow effect. Oh, because well, it's glowing, but it's not drawing over the person. Whereas this will do that effect over the object. I mean, it's still a nice little highlight to say you're picking it up, but like the gooseberry wouldn't show anything. Which unfortunately it might be down to exactly how we're drawing things. Mouse over behind. Highlight, highlight, highlight fade. Draw any highlighted R placements. Oh, that move issue. Yes. That's one of the things that's been bothering me for a long time, and this is like it's something serviceable with, well, we're cheating a bit by not doing braces around this and re-indenting everything. But he's already kind of doing that, so it sort of works. And it's entirely possible it will. Like, I could see possibly using screen freeze to try and help stab a murderer, and then it won't work. Well, you could aim for their butt, I guess. So here's speakers. So this is probably just a draw ordering issue. I mean, maybe speakers is it? Because I'm not sure where it actually draws people. Okay, that's like an overlay on everything. Mouse cursor behind. Preview mouse over spots. Hit our placement behind. You or eat our clothes after we are outside of them. Highlight equals in highlight only. So maybe highlight is actually a separate thing. Preview mouse over spots behind. Show highlight. Start pass. Opaque portion, first fringe. Huh. Start adding to stencil. If highlight, toggle additive blend, opaque portion. I'm just not entirely sure which section it's doing. So it's drawing that over the tree, which is down, but not over the person. That's what is... Oh. This is like the bottom of something. Draw. Oh, it only. Well, that's still drawing a map cell. Oh, draw this cell in highlight only. False. Wait a minute. No time effects. So it's the third parameter. Screen X, screen Y, screen X, screen Y. Highlights only. Finally, draw any highlighted over placements. There's speakers. But that's speech pause. And then we're pretty much done. How? Is it recording? So this is the original one. Which doesn't seem to really record anything about the new hit. Oh. Whereas this actually does end up recording some stuff. So this is doing this regardless, but we were skipping this entire loop. Right, we were skipping this entire loop in that mode. So we cannot, so we actually have to do all of this. And then once we actually get to the person, we hit our placement and we hit a person, do that. So hit self, hit other person, hit clothing. This, to make a smaller patch, would line up there. Now, unfortunately, I can't easily publish. Well, I have to figure out how I deal with this with respect to. Okay, so looks a little weird, but oh, only if it's behind. Nice. But I might need another. Well, a rock should work. Okay. Not that it matters, but. Oh, that's the only active element, huh? That should allow to see behind people as well. So that's definitely going to take some experimentation. And I have to... Is there a better way I can structure this for a small patch? You know what? Actually, I probably shouldn't do this. Unless we're also going to veto this. And actually, there's hit our placement. Anyway, this kind of becomes a big else. Okay, so what we have here is what we can do. We do want to test this. Is this the last thing in the loop? Yeah, so I might be able to continue. Yeah. So this is a not, so we say, if in fact this thing came to pass, then we do that. I'm actually not sure that's going to interact with the diff. There might have been a space there. We do that. Wait. You're there. You are... Oh, we already had that. And then... Oh, well, maybe this wasn't vetoing before and it was still doing closest cell. So this is actually going to be executing the loop and just, well, it's going to be changing hit. Well, we already hit our placement, right? Okay, so there's normal. Okay, so I have to do a mouse move to get the hit placement behind. I did, which is probably fair enough. That thing doesn't normally cause any sort of pointer detection events, so I don't think that's any different. And the clicks should still work. Oh! Well, drops aren't as big a deal. You can find a place around somebody. And if it's a smith object or something, or a flat stone, you should still be able to reach that. That's still, because that's like a detect nothing, which I have to go down and find. Well, that would be in line with skipping the loop entirely. During focus mode. But then that would not be conditional on hit our placement. That would just be... No, and we were doing this on hit our placement before. That would just be ignore... That would be ignore all people during focus mode. That might be a bit much. All right, well, this is something that can only be tested through real play. We can consider this a possible keeper once I sort out how to discard my debugging patches. And it's not a terribly bad patch either. Okay, so we are on STG status, STG show. Well, it says what we're on. That's useful. Now, what I want to do is actually consider that as a possible keeper. So we'd want to name of the name a previous patch, pull changes, push onto stack. Set the patch stack. Send patches deeper down in the stack. Everything is optional. Target patch. Sync patches below the target patch. Patches is the argument. And I guess we don't actually need this right now. We're about to die. Is this just drop one? Oh, no, it drops it all the way. So what's the opposite of sync? Is there an opposite of sync? Float. I saw a float somewhere. Help. Oh, just to the top. Or actually, does it still have focus? No. STG sync target. No, I guess what we really do is just STG float debugging info. That's what I really want. Append patch the patch names. Use branch. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to dump the debugging stuff out of there, because that's by default applied to my builds right now. Okay, well, I'm only going to be testing that privately for now, so it's definitely not recommendable yet. But that actually, well, that's got us. I started off on an exploration and it had some promising results, so that actually got us a little bit past, well, later lunchtime. So I'll have to get things. That should give me a, make sure we've got a clean build. I will play this after lunch. Oh, okay, actually no code effect. And see if that sufficiently resolves everything. But that is it for the code for now. I am planning to be back this afternoon to actually play 1 Hour 1 Life. Check out all of the updates. Let's see. So that means we're done with this. Actually, one thing about this scene, and yep. Oh, what did I have to? I had to fix something. I forgot what it was. Oh well. Thanks for all the hosts. What do we got? Oh, I know. This is about when I tend to stream, so it's usually coding in the mornings. Saturdays have been 1 Hour 1 Life, so I've been kind of doing some of the coding related to that, also on Saturday mornings. If you're looking for some more game coding, looks like Makings of a Hero is working on a ARTS MOBA right now, and she's usually talking through what she's doing and what she's working on in the manner that I like to watch and try to do myself. So if you're looking for someplace cool to hang out, that's someplace cool to hang out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Goodbye, and until next time.